Hey everyone, Ryan from Ebike Escape.
And JT from Ebike Escape. And in today's video, we're gonna be unboxing Lectric XP 3.0. So let's get into it.
So the Lectric 3.0 now has been out for a few months, but when we received our 3.0, we really wanted to get the full review out. So now we're gonna go back and do an unboxing. Before we get started with the unboxing, if you are looking to purchase any electric bike from Lectric, check out the link in the description. If you use that link before you make your purchase, it's a free and easy way to help support the channel and makes videos like this one possible. Thank you so much for your support. We'll also throw some other resources down in the description as well. Our popular electric bike accessories list. You can also check out our Lectric 3.0 accessories video we did. We'll also have our top e-bike brands page as well as our electric bike discounts code page, all linked down in the description. With that, let's get into unboxing the 3.0. We already have our full review out. You can check out that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Maybe you're looking at purchasing Lectric 3.0, or maybe you already did. In this video, we're gonna give you some tips in assembly and also just show off what an amazing job that Lectric does in the unboxing experience. You can see that this box is fairly small given there's a full electric
bike in here. Yeah. It's really almost assembled and ready to ride. There she is, almost a fully assembled electric bike.
So if you've already watched our review, we reviewed the step-thru model, but we wanted to get a high step in here. Maybe we'll bring in the step-thru to give you a little bit of a comparison as well. All right, so even just out of the box, it already sits by itself, which is really nice. And one cool thing that I noticed is they have this nice Velcro strap, which keeps the two wheels together when it's folded. You might wanna hang on to this for when you're traveling or folding this electric bike. And this was the holiday package, so it comes with a few accessories already installed. I got the Elite headlight up here. We'll show you that in a little bit.
And then this is also the giant seat. So the Lectric XP 3.0 did come with a newly designed, like sleeker bicycle style seat, but this is the giant seat, I think as they call it, and suspension seat post here. And then also tucked in here, I see the folding bike lock.
So from time to time, Lectric runs sales. They don't typically discount their electric bikes because they are already so affordable. And so you can sometimes get some free accessories, which is always nice.
One thing you may want to do on this bike first, when you pull it out of the box, is go ahead and take the battery out and get it on a charge. You do want to charge up the battery all the way before your first ride. And the keys on the Lectric XP 3.0 are located down here on the handlebars. They're zip tied on. So you just want to go ahead and cut that zip tie, and then you insert the keys on the bottom, unlock the battery, and the battery will slide out.
As with most electric bikes, we have a 2-amp charger that'll fully charge your battery up from empty in 5 to 7 hours. This is the shorter version, the 10-amp-hour battery. Of course, if you upgraded to the 14-amp-hour battery, that's what you should find housed inside of the frame.
Yeah, so in order to take this out, you're actually gonna insert the keys down here on the bottom of the frame and twist it towards the front wheel, and then remove the keys, a locking pin will pull itself in, and the battery will slide itself right out. And there's also this nice little lever handle on the front here that you can pull out to slide the battery out. And one thing to check is we had seen on the forums that some people have gotten the wrong battery. Now Lectric has been really good about replacing it if they sent you the wrong one. But right here on the battery will be your specs. So you just want to make sure that that matches what's on the box and what you ordered.
As we've seen more frequently on brands trying to protect themselves a little bit, there's warning tags all over this electric bike. If you aren't familiar with assembling a bike and you plan to do it yourself, highly recommend you actually read these if you're going to take it to a bike shop, which is what we recommend and what Lectric recommends. After you have it together, you don't have to worry about that, but they do have the warnings to make sure that you're doing everything properly. And they also have all the torque specs in the manual, which is available on Lectric's website. We'll also throw a link to it down in the description. So I have the do not exceed the maximum payload of the rear rack.
Seat post warning tag, be sure the height is properly set. You have the, so really where the warning labels are on these bikes are places that in the manual, it says like, hey, don't pass the minimum insertion on the handlebars in here. The rear rack has 150-pound weight capacity, don't exceed that.
There's a front wheel warning tag. Be sure that the front wheel is properly installed before each ride, of course.
All right, so we are gonna go ahead and unfold this bike for the first time here. Throw that around. The latch right here on the side, you just push it in and then throw down the kickstand. And then the handlebars actually come not inserted into the stem here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this up, push that in, undo our little latch here, and slide the handlebars in.
And as JT mentioned, there's a minimum insertion line right here. You do not want any of this visible. There's a 0 here all the way up to 8, so you want to be within this range for safety purposes.
So there we go, just go ahead and slide those down. And one thing I did notice when putting in those handlebars here is that this connector is unplugged here. And without this plugged in, your bike is not going to turn it on. That is actually the plug for the screen and controls. So when you try and turn the bike on, obviously there's no battery in it, but the bike is not going to turn on if this is not properly connected. And there's little keyways. It only goes in one way. Just be careful though, because the pins are very small.
Line up the arrows and push it together.
That's right, the arrows. Yep, and these are called Juliet connectors if you want to look online how they go together.
One of the things that I love about the electric bikes is, yes, they are almost fully assembled, but the handlebars are also already installed, which is something that's a little bit more tedious to install on other electric bikes. So the Lectric XP 3.0 does not come with any tools. Of course, you'll want to go ahead and purchase a metric set. You can check out our electric bike accessories list. There's a ratchet wrench that I'd highly recommend if you want to make some adjustments.
If you're looking for anything a little bit more higher end, we do have our Top Peak. This is a torque wrench, which is always nice to have. It comes with all of your Allens. And then they also have this nice little ratchet, which is what we're going to utilize real quick to tighten up the screen.
Now, of course, you're going to want to follow all of the instructions in the manual, but some of the things that I personally like to check when unboxing an electric bike and before I ride it. Firstly, I like to check the really critical bolts in the rear here. You can see where this torque arm is as well. Want to make sure those are nice and snug. You also want to make sure that the brakes are operating properly. I find that if you find any squeaking, sometimes I leave it be until I bed in the brakes and then make any adjustments as needed.
One thing we did forget is they always tuck a little piece of styrofoam up here underneath the fender to make sure that that doesn't get bent down during shipping. So what I found is the easiest way is you just kind of walk it out with your fingers and roll the tire backwards and it'll come out. Bottom right there, there you go.
One thing that I like to check on any electric bike is if it comes with a derailleur guard, make sure this isn't bent to your derailleur. That can cause shifting issues. Now JT has the bike up on the kickstand and he's gonna run through the gears and make sure all the gears are correct and shifting properly.
Yeah, it looks like it goes from one end to the other. Holds it there pretty nicely. And we'll check the brake.
So this bike, like 90%, I would say, of the electric bikes that I review, needed no derailleur adjustments. There is a barrel adjuster here if you need to make slight adjustments. It's actually something fairly easy to do if you're handy. So at this point, the bike is put together. This would be a great point for you to take it to your local bike shop. And what is awesome is the bike is already fully assembled.
Yeah.
So all they need to do is go through everything, make sure it's safe to ride. Probably cost you 20, 30 bucks, somewhere around there. But if you're going to do it yourself, what might you want to do?
Two other quick things that you may want to check before you get on and ride is Lectric in their manual does have a pre-ride checklist. You can kind of run through that checklist and make sure that everything is ready to go. And then also in the manual, they also have a torque spec list. So you can run through there and make sure that everything is torqued down and ready to ride. And then the last and most probably important thing that you're going to want to check more often than just your first ride is going to be tire pressures. You can see on the side of the tire here, it says inflate to 25 to 45 PSI. I would probably ride it somewhere right in the middle there, just like a car, somewhere probably 32 to 35 PSI is probably a pretty safe area to ride the bikes at.
Okay, bonus content. Let's bring over the step-thru. I'm curious how these two bikes differ.
We get quite a few questions about step-thru versus high step and everything like that. The biggest thing is there's not really any difference in frame rigidity or stiffness or anything like that, or ride characteristics. The only difference is the lower step over height. You can tell the difference between the two bikes. The battery is also different, but the down tube goes a little bit lower on the step-thru so that you can get your leg and everything over. But other than that, the bikes are almost identical and they ride exactly the same.
Some other slight differences we've noticed is space behind the seat tube here. You can see there's a little bit more room on the step-thru compared to the high step just because of the different frame design. Now I will say, looking at these two electric bikes, there's no doubt that the step-thru is more accessible. But actually the high step is still a relatively accessible electric bike. So don't let the high step concern you because there are certainly other electric bikes that have a much higher step over height than the High Step 3.0. Though me personally, I like the look of the step-thru. That's the one that I'd personally purchase. So there you have it. I think all of Lectric e-bikes are the easiest to unbox and assemble. I think it's something that's super unique about Lectric e-bikes. Again, if you find any of our content helpful, using the links in the description is a free and easy way to help support the channel. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks for watching.
See you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.